10 minutes before the hour, Michael Patrick Shields heard all across the state of Michigan. It's Friday morning. Ron Van Timmeren from Celebration Cinemas has been nice enough to hang in there, and he's with us this morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Hi, Michael Patrick.
Have you seen the new Rick Snyder television commercial by any chance?
I try not to watch.
I understand.
No, I can't recall it.
At the end of it, they show, well, it's called One Chance, and they show these people saying, we've got one chance, we've got one chance. And then at the end, there's this lingering shot of Mr. Snyder, the one tough nerd, and it's very dramatic. And he's got, like, white lights on his eyes, you know, and there's this music, and it almost looks like a kind of like a vampire kind of thing. And let me play the end of the spot for you, and you just tell me, as a movie maker, doesn't this sound kind of spooky?
One chance.
Snyder, he's the outsider, the tough nerd guy.
Rick will look to the future and reinvent Michigan. We need his leadership.
You hear that music, Ron?
Very dramatic.
Isn't it, though? I don't know. It's unusual but his whole campaign's been unusual. Anyways, the one tough nerd theme.
Yeah. And you got to look for a hook, whether you're selling movies or shoes or colas or political candidates, and it's all about the creative content to make you stand out from the clutter. And good grief, there's a lot of clutter out there.
Governor Granholm will join us, by the way, in about 15 minutes. We're with Ron Van Timmeren from Celebration Cinemas. What's on the silver screen this weekend?
Well, 4 new movies, and I'm not sure any of them can knock off Inception, which was number one again last weekend. That already up to $150 million, beat out Salt last weekend. But let's give a try for Dinner for Schmucks. That would be Steve Carell's new movie, co-starring Paul Rudd. Steve Carell, the schmuck in question. That's a PG-13 comedy. Also new this week, or an expanded release for The Kids Are All Right, who is starring Annette Bening and Julianne Moore. They play a lesbian couple whose teenage children are growing up and they want to meet their biological father. Enter Mark Ruffalo, and the comedy ensues. Actually, it's kind of a sexy movie, too, rated R for strong sexual content. But that one looks good, and the reviews are awesome for that. How's that look to you?
Well, I saw the preview, or the trailer, I guess it's called in the business, for this Dinner for Schmucks.
Yeah.
And that looks very intriguing, and it looks kind of zany.
Very zany, and there's been 2 trailers produced, Michael Patrick, and both of them have a little different spin on the content of the movie. One makes it look like a much more of a black comedy.
Yeah.
The other pretty much a straightforward, look how silly Steve Carell's character is. Look, we're going to invite all these silly people to dinner, and whoever's silly person is the silliest, they get a promotion at the company. So I'm intrigued.
I am, too. I am also intrigued by this movie, Inception, because everybody that I talk to about it says they either cannot figure it out or that it's very complicated, and it certainly is creating buzz.
Yeah, and that's what makes good movies great, is getting people to talk about them. And frankly, you can take it as far as you want to, Michael Patrick, and trying to figure it out. I generally don't try to figure out movies while I'm watching them, but I kept up with it pretty well, at least on what I was seeing, you know, and then you can go into different levels beyond that. But great performance, great visual special effects and stunts and filmmaking, just a wild ride and great summer entertainment.
I hate to even talk about the ending at all because I don't want to give it away, but I'll say this. I'm intrigued to see it just because it sounds like a sort of an intellectual challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, and I love movies like that. A couple more to quickly mention. Charlie St. Cloud opens this weekend, too, with Zac Efron and Amanda Crew. Kind of a 5-hanky picture about a family in turmoil and the chance at redemption. Also, for the families, Cats and Dogs 3D, The Revenge of Kitty Galore.
It is Hilary Swank's birthday. For what it's worth, we never let the birthday of a beautiful woman pass without taking note. Maybe it's still a bit of a surprise, but she's won 2 Academy Awards in $1 Million Baby and Boys Don't Cry. So happy birthday and congratulations to her. What's been the winning movie of the summer so far?
Well, certainly Toy Story 3D, already over $300 million, pushing up to $400 million. That was, it was my consensus best picture of the summer until Inception. So a lot of great choices out there, Michael Patrick.
Okay, Ron Van Timmeren.
See you at the movies.
See you at the movies, too. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Celebration Cinemas is where he is from.